Stages of development of atherosclerosis. The first stage, initiation, begins when HDL and LDL particles enter the endothelium of the blood vessel and bind with connective tissue. This occurs in an area of shear stress. The LDL particles become oxidized and send signals to the endothelial cells to send out messages to the macrophages, and then they express adhesion particles on their surface to pull the macrophage into the tunica intima. The macrophages endocytose oxidized LDL particles to become foam cells. Then they move to the basement membrane to form the fatty streak of the blood vessel. Stage 2 of development of atherosclerosis is the transition stage, or the conversion of the fatty streak to an atheroma. As you can see, the macrophages, which have now become foam cells, have migrated to the anterior side of the basement membrane. The foam cells become necrotic and die, and the smooth muscle cells of the blood vessel migrate to the endothelium to form a fibrous cap to contain the inflammation. This is the beginning of the formation of the necrotic core. The smooth muscle cells that were first recruited die and contribute to development of the necrotic core. Continuous movement of smooth muscle cells promotes the conversion of smooth muscle cells to osteoclasts or chondrocytes above the necrotic core underneath the endothelium, where they begin to lay down calcium. Stage 3 of the development of atherosclerosis is progression. The necrotic core continues to grow as LDL and HDL particles penetrate in this shear stress area of the blood vessel. Macrophages are called in to endocytose oxidized LDL particles and form foam cells, which die. Smooth muscle cells are then recruited to form the fibrous cap. This is a stable plaque. It is not in danger of rupturing as long as the cap is not thin. In stage 3, the fibrous cap eventually becomes so thin because the necrotic core is very enlarged with dying cells, and the smooth muscle cells cannot migrate fast enough to form osteoclasts to protect the necrotic core, and there's a break in the endothelium. Then cell particles, the macrophages, the foam cells, and cell debris begin to leak out into the lumen of the blood vessel, and they release inflammatory factors in the form of cytokines and endotoxins, which call in thromboxane and fibrin to form a clot, which eventually occludes blood flow, preventing the delivery of oxygen to tissues, and can lead to tissue death and heart attack.